Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft discussion today. My name is Kimberly Quinn. I gotta organize Giovanni's leash right here. He's waiting for us to continue on the hike. We're not even up at Inspiration Bridge yet. We're on the lower part of the trail, just getting going, but I was so inspired that I wanted to have a chat. I keep doing this. I forget if I introduced myself. Okay, my name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm here to have a chat with you today about choosing your family without guilt. So, as some of you saw, actually the one I think it was this morning. I actually did it yesterday, but I released it this morning on the chosen family and how important it is to realize that not all of us had the best situation with the family we were born into, which of course we have no control over. So we're not talking about a couple prickly pears because no family's perfect, right? No family's perfect. We're talking about a little bit more severe situations, and also sometimes it isn't on purpose. Somebody could have, left prematurely by sickness and death, or there's all kinds of reasons we can seek out other good people to be our family. And that said, there are, I forget, it's close to 40%, I think. Anyway, somewhere in the high 30s, 40% of adults walking around out there in the United States who grew up with at least one addicted parent. And as you know, I'm the proud prodigy of two alcoholic parents, one of whom is in recovery last I knew. Doesn't matter though, because there was so much mental illness and shame, and I was doing the backstroke and all that shame and stuff. So the idea is just to explain and describe, because for ages and ages ago, I kind of let go of all that stuff and release them both with love and kindness and go with God energy and all that sort of thing. So the reason I share it, I think of Aaron Doughty when I talk about this, because he talks frequently, and I watched several seasons of his videos, and he brings up about having his abusive stepmother, so that people get it, because if you just started watching now, you didn't know the backstory. So I'm like, why does he keep bringing this up? But now I get it. Because if, for people who hadn't watched, they would not be making sense out of it. But he just also talks about it like in a skeleton way, like I do. Like, this happened, blah, 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 here we are today. So, and I wouldn't erase any of it, because I am very grateful for all the benefits, all the blessings, all the bonuses I've gotten out of it as a person, and all the growth and all that. Post-traumatic growth, that's what we call that. Turning wounds into wisdom. All right, so anyway, as far as choosing your family, cherry picking your family is okay. And I'll tell you, I was doing that without knowing it, as I mentioned in the other video. And then the second part of that, which is I feel like I didn't have enough time for in the last video, because I try to keep these short, is the process of letting go of the guilt. That was hard, if I'm being truthful, which I am, because I'm not wired for lies. I actually practice honesty, just like you practice the violin or something. And here's the thing, is that it was hard, even as abusive as their behavior was, and hateful, and actually actually actively trying to take me down at times, and violent. I still, it sounds so totally crazy, wrestle with this sort of obligatory, and we are Catholic, but that really wasn't all of it at all, because I actually, as a young child, wasn't really raised anything. That came in later, and I, at St. Mike's, it was very progressive Catholic, journey. So that really isn't it, honestly. Although that can get in the way for a lot of people. Honoring their mother and father. Well, we feel conditioned and obligated, like they brought us into the world, and she gave birth, and they sacrificed this and they sacrificed that, and okay. You can say a nice prayer and move on and let that go, because none of that has to do with your life now. And it doesn't mean to blame them and all that. That just hurts you, because the shame-blame game is a cycle, and that just perpetuates the feelings of feeling flawed and defective and all of that. So the blaming isn't what we want either. It's just sort of a release, letting go and realizing that you're not chained by the ankle to your family of origin. And I'm talking about the toxics, not people that have challenge, things that you got to constantly work at, and, always give it your last college try. I'm talking about the toxics. The toxics need to go. And if your family of origin, which you had no control over being born into, was toxic for you, neglectful, abusive, fill in the blanks with all that, but in whatever way, not being excited with your accomplishments and you rising like a shining star, and maybe even delighting in your demise, even if it's small things, that's a clear signal that those are all dark forces, to be truthful, because love just doesn't behave that way. It just doesn't. It doesn't mean we can't be hurtful out of being hurt ourselves, because we know hurt people hurt people. We can be hurt because we're angry. We can be hurt because of being, overtired, hungry, sick, all that stuff. I'm talking about really, again, severe toxic behavior. And that means we need to make some changes. And it might not be everybody in your family, though that does get sticky because there's attachments. And you got one sibling who is completely toxic, but then you got another sibling who is wonderful, and how do you hang on to that? It's hard. But that's why it's each situation is going to be different for different people. But for me, I tell you, when I was doing this all the way along the way, not realizing it, as I mentioned with my rooftop friend and all the crew at St. Mike's and my husband's family, blah, blah, blah. It got conscious, though, about, I don't know how long ago, decade and a half ago, where I really, I don't know, I did a TED Talk about it, but it was not as early as you'd think. Like, I was kind of doing this, kind of being aware. I was seeking out good people, my cross-country coach, Zap, blah, blah, blah. But it actually became a conscious, I'm going to get about 12 or 15 years ago, it came into my head, like, even though I had these new people, my own chosen family, in addition to my wonderful husband and 5 beautiful children, I actually thought about it. I'm like, why? Even though I dismissed them, I'm like, why is there this lingering guilt that, I didn't try hard enough, or if I would have tried one more time, and none of that, I could try 1,000 gazillion more times. They're ill. It's not going to happen. I did try a gazillion times over and over and over and over again. And it just is what it is. And so the purpose of this video, because I don't want that video to be too long, is to really forgive yourself. And this is what I actually said to myself in my head. I forgive them. I forgive me. I truly did the very best I can. I do the best I can every day in every way. And it just didn't, they don't fit in my life. They're not Kim worthy. Their behavior was toxic. And I just put this out there. I forgive them. I forgive me. This is the very best I could do, and let it go. And remember that forgiveness doesn't mean anybody gets a pass. It's not like that says their behavior was okay. No, of course not. And Claudia Black, who's the leading, or is, I don't know, the leading pioneer in the ACOA, Adult Children of Alcoholics movement, had the very best definition of forgiveness I've ever heard, when she said, forgiveness has nothing to do with forgetting. It has everything to do with remembering and choosing to move forward. And choosing to move forward. So with my forgiveness, I let go of the blame of them, the shame of them. And man, does that feel good. That just feels like you lost 50 pounds or something. I don't know, like you just feel so light, you can't even put it into words. And then it then opens up all of this space for the love of other people and you giving love back to them, because we can't be loving if we don't have it to give. So with all that guilt and shame and anger and resentment and crap, we are inhibited to receive more love, to receive love from our new chosen family. And then, like I said, we are prevented from loving them back and loving other people and doing all these conscious acts of kindness. It limits all that stuff because there's so much junk in the way. Think of a clogged pipe or something, and only this much water gets through. You got to clear it out. And the best way to clear that out, if you had all that going on in your family, toxics and things, and you want a chosen family, you already have a chosen family, or in the process of building your chosen family, is to make a conscious choice to let go of the guilt. You have every right, and it's actually your duty to take care of you. Got to take care of you. You cannot give what you do not have. And no matter what, if you had any kind of role in it, just forgive it all, let it go, and open up your heart and mind like a catcher's mitt to a new, cool family, chosen family, who are your first ring and who are worthy of you. Kind, good people. And let go, kind of like if you're driving the boat. and the wake in the back, and you've got the way it bends in the front, like kind of the waves go like that. Focus on what's in front of you. Forget the wake behind you because it's over anyway. And open yourself to up because wow, there's just so much love and kindness out there. And when you've been so used to being mistreated and not, or maybe in the middle here, just not maybe blatantly abused, but didn't get the love that you really needed and stuff, and all of a sudden you find that in other people. Oh my God, I can't even tell you. It's amazing. And these people are all very much active in my life now, and I'm very active in theirs. And they're every bit as much my family as any born family ever, family of origin ever could have been. So that is the whole thing. I really wanted to do like an addendum video out of love and kindness to you because I've been there and I get it. And all the healing that happens, from feeling unworthy and unlovable and not seeing my own value. And now having all these people in my life who have been in my life for decades, starting with the rooftop friend, all the way up through St. Mike's and currently at Champlain and everything. Wow, it's huge. Choose your family and let go of any messages in your head that are telling you otherwise. Embrace them, be grateful for them, say it to them, write it in your journal, and just allow your cup to fill up and overflow, because whatever's in that cup is for you. Whatever overflows is everything you've got to give the world with your new, open to love heart. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful Northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.